Hey everyone, this is Joey with the Penn-Reading Industrial Division, and in this video we're going to go through the process of building up the industrial section of Emma, Pennsylvania. As you can see here, I have taken down the buildings in preparation for the track work and the wiring and to fix all the trees, because I've added way too many trees and the backdrops have been leaning to one side and causing the Vine Street side to collapse pretty much. So I took them down. I got rid of some of the trees, and once we are done with all the track work and the foreground scenery, we're going to place the buildings back on and then add more trees to where they will be, so that the backdrops stay flush against the buildings. So the first step I've done was obviously finish all the track work, and so you can see here all the track work in Emma is completed. We got code 70, code 83 track switches inside here. I completed the feeder wires. So I dropped all the feeder wires in the appropriate spots, and we, let's say, spent a whole evening till like 4 o'clock in the morning just soldering all the tracks, so that way all these feeders are nice and solid. And the next step is to go underneath and actually wire it to the bus wires. So that's the next step. That shouldn't take too long. This is a whole lot less than doing the entire Emma Junction, which was, that was a couple of hours just wiring everything up. But it was fun nonetheless. What you can see here, I had to make a trench just because I have some wood going across here. And oh my gosh, that was a nightmare trying to get these wires in. So I had to dig a trench and drill the holes down this way because there's wood underneath here, and then we had to come in and then solder all these in. And so far it's staying, it's solid, and so all the turnouts are soldered together, the crossovers are soldered together, and all of the track has feeders that are dropped and soldered. So the next step is let's wire up Emma Junction. Let's wire up Emma and the industries. So our materials and supplies that we're going to be using to wire up this industrial section. First, we're going to use these terminals. Now these terminals are awesome. Actually, Sparky 107 had an awesome video on this about I think a year back or a couple of years back, and pretty much you daisy chain these together, right? And you have your red side and your white side. I'm not an electrician. I have no idea what I'm talking about half the time when it comes to electricity, but I know how to wire this stuff, sort of. So you daisy chain these together by you do bus wire to bus wire. But instead, what we're gonna do is you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 5. So I could do up to 5 sets of feeders on one terminal. And so each end here, we'll take a red and a white. In this case, we'll take a yellow and a red. And what we're gonna do is this will go right to the bus wire, and then the bus wire goes to the command station, and voila, it should be wired and the train should be running. Theoretically. Now, we're going to use this, and then like I said, we're going to use 18 gauge red and yellow wire. I do have white under the layout here. This is just in case I need to extend the wires to reach the terminal. And to do that, I have these connectors. These are the wrong connectors. I don't know if this camera's picking it up, but I don't know if those are the wrong well, those are the wrong connectors. I do have the right ones. Cannot find them. They are MIA, but we'll find them. The next thing, you know, to connect to the bus wire, we're going to use suitcase connectors. Woohoo! Right? You gotta love suitcase connectors. And the tool we're going to use is this wonderful wiring tool right here. This baby is cake and would help greatly with the wiring. And then we got these little push pins here. This will hold the terminal in place underneath the layout into the foam. It's about like a 3 inches long nail. So it actually holds, and it's been holding so far underneath the layout for the past month on the other terminals. So we'll see what happens there. And then, of course, the most important thing when you do wiring is you need your beverage. And there is my shot glass, because why not? This is actually probably gonna get rid of this. Not gonna need this. Not gonna need these. Not gonna need any of this, especially not this. But there you go. That's all I need. All right, going freehand. Probably because I had a shot in Knob Creek. Anyway, we're going to be using 3 terminals over here. So we're going to have, since I got hold up to 5, we're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5th track here. So that's 1 right there. And then we're going to do 1, 2, 3. So 3 for there. Maybe my DCC command station won't explode. And then here we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we got 5 on this one. So this is what it's gonna look like, kind of gonna look like. I haven't not done with this. Well, I'm not completed. Wow, I can't talk. I'm still, I need a coffee. Anyway, this is not fully completed. It's still got to be organized. I know what wires go with what track, if that's English, when you're tired. But yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. I haven't done the Emma Industries yet, but this is what the Emma Junction looks like right now. So all this stuff has to be organized. And as you can see here, all the drop feeders going down, and see, and some of these are longer, which is good, because they may actually work. Anyway, we're gonna get started. Okay, so safety first. From my past videos, which was, I thought it was pretty funny, but in reality, I have stepped on track nails where I left a trail of blood to the bathroom to put a band-aid on. And so safety is wearing my slippers, because I haven't cleaned the floor in about a week or so, and I don't know what's under here. And the next thing that the last thing I wanted to do is step on something and end up in the hospital again. So we're not going to do that. And I'm wearing a hat because, not to look cool, but because the little screws and stuff sticking underneath here, and last thing I need to do is have a boo-boo in my head. So we're gonna somehow get underneath. Actually, see, this is cool. I can actually hang out right here and just take a nap, because I really do need a nap. Maybe coffee. Okay, now what happened to the screwdriver? Oh, they're under here. I already hurt myself. I know I'm gonna give people a heart attack watching this. I'm trying to way back here. I mean, yes, I could get inside and sit on the floor like a normal human being, but I'd rather suffer and torture myself by doing it this way. Just because I feel like it. All right, I'm going freehand for a minute here. So all the track is wired. The only issues I'm having are the points are messed up, just because the switches are old and they're from another layout. And so they need to be fixed. Although some of them actually really need these Caboose Industry switch stands. And the switch throws actually work really, really well. And I figured out a way to attach these to microengineering switches. When I was at the NMRA convention, I found Caboose Industries, and I didn't even introduce myself. I just said, "You got to be kidding me!" And the guy's like, "What?" And I'm like, "Well, I can't believe you got these to work on your microengineering switches, and you use brass pieces of brass." And I have pieces of brass, and so if you look here, this actually, no, not this one. No, yeah, this one actually has brass on it, and you can see here it throws just fine. Okay. Now, if you go over here, I need to add it on these. All of these need switch, these switch throws, and that's going to take some time to do. And the beauty of them is that I have a lot of brass tubing, so I will attach the brass to these switch throws, then attach it to the switch points, and so they should work really well. I'm still in the process of doing this one here, but all of them need to be done. Otherwise, it's almost impossible to move these locomotives around, because these need work, these switches. But all of it's wired, all of it runs. The only one I'm having, there was a buzzing noise that was going on. It was freaking me out. I'm like, what the heck's going on? I soldered all the joints. I couldn't figure out what the heck what was happening. Turns out that this track here was creating a short, and just because the wires were touching. And so all this here is going to be taken out. It's going to be eliminated, because I realized that at the end of the track down there, I actually have it wired up in another area. So the only thing you need to do is make some feeders for this particular for this track, so that way that'll be done. But most of these switches, I would say half of these switches work really, really well, and all the track but that one piece right here is all wired, and it runs. It looks great. It runs great. This little Reading locomotive from Bowser does a great job shoving cars and stuff. I already tested it out earlier. I did have a video, but it would have been like 6-7 minutes long of you watching me try to hook up, throw the switches by hand, which are almost impossible because they need work. Anyway, I'm just babbling along because now I'm on 2 cups of coffee, and it's late at night, and I'm a night owl. So, guys, I appreciate it. And the next thing we're going to do is now weather some of the pieces of track. And so hopefully we can start some of the scenery work. I like to get the buildings back up here. I do have an open house in the next 2 weeks so far, but we will see. Okay, guys, take care, and I'll see you soon.